Hey folks, I'm Domotro, and today I want to tell you about what I call the edible peel conspiracy. Now I know we often talk about numbers here in combo class, but sometimes there are other topics I feel the need to share with the world as well. Today's topic is a sort of snack break, but one that I consider quite important. I love fruits. And although some fruits, everybody knows you can eat the entire thing, other fruits have parts of them that are often ignored or discarded, such as petals of certain flowers, or the topic we're going to talk about today, certain rinds or peels or exteriors of fruits that people don't always realize are actually edible. I'm not just referring to peels that are often discarded, but which most people know are technically edible. I'm referring to the type of peels that I used to have no idea were edible. And as a fruit lover, when I found out that so many peels had been edible all along, I felt ripped off. Like someone was pulling some massive cosmic prank on me or something. Like there are times I've gone on a hike and brought a piece of fruit and later regretted not bringing more snacks, and I had no idea that I secretly did have another snack all along in the peel. Why didn't I know that so many peels were edible? Why wasn't it common knowledge? Was there some big fruit peel conspiracy? Now, when I first thought of using the word conspiracy to describe this, I was thinking of it as almost entirely a joke. But over time, I began to think of it as more like only half a joke. Because maybe there is some subtle connection between the fact that we get a lot of our media and advertisements from junk food and fast food companies who wouldn't want you to know about how many natural things like peels are edible. If you were filling up on all the peels, you wouldn't be eating as many chips. So perhaps there is some sort of real conspiracy going on here, or maybe that's just a ridiculous joke. In any case, today I want to tell you about some fruit peels that you may not have known were edible. Now in this snack break, since I am going to be eating some strange things, I do need to make the disclaimer not to copy any of what you see me eat. You could have a fruit that looks like something I have that's secretly a different fruit, or maybe you're allergic to something strange, or maybe it'll just hurt your stomach. In any case, don't copy any of the fruit peel eating you see me doing today. I just wanted to show a few experiments and general facts about peels that, for most of the population, are surprisingly safe to consume, including things like bananas, which, while they're not the one I'm going to recommend most highly, I've tried them before and they're pretty dry tasting to try and chew down, are technically, for most of the population, edible. Now let's talk about some citrus. Here I have a variety of citrus fruits: grapefruits, oranges, limes, and lemons. And oh boy, do I have some memories with eating the skin of lemons. Oh, I've eaten strange looking lemons, massive lemons. There was a time where I ate 2 whole lemons with the peels. That's probably the most lemons I'll ever eat with the peels. Just kidding. There was another time where I ate 3 whole lemons with the peels. This one's probably not recommended by dentists. I don't know how good it is for your teeth, but it tastes pretty good. Now, I'm not just talking about the yellow exterior, which is often used as lemon zest in cooking, and which adds a somewhat bitter but flavorful combination to whatever's inside the lemon, but also that white, somewhat bland pith of the lemon helps out. If you're going to take a bite out of the inner sour, sweet center of the lemon, having that bitterish zest and that somewhat bland pith add up to an overall balanced bite, almost like you're eating a sour candy. Now, although lemon is my favorite, at times I've nibbled at the skins of other citrus fruits, which are sometimes more bitter and less flavorful than the lemon skin, but I've never really done a conclusive comparison. So it's time to try out some citrus fruits all in a row. I give the lemon a top tier grade. Excellent. How about an orange? That one, the bitter part, is a little thicker, so you get a more intense bitterness. Wouldn't grade it quite as highly as the lemon, but there was nothing wrong with it. If I was going to eat an orange on the road, and I didn't have a knife with me, I might take my first bite out of the peel and then eat the rest inside. Now, what about a lime? This skin is so thick. This is so hard to bite through. So, edible, very chewy and tough to bite through, also pretty bitter. This is probably the worst of the citrus peels so far. What about grapefruit? Not too bad at all, similar to the orange, maybe even a little better. So, what do you know? Citrus peels, more edible than you realize. And citrus is just the beginning. Another fruit that I genuinely enjoy the peel of are kiwis. Kiwi fruits have this hairy skin, and people are always shocked when they see me bite right into it. But in my opinion, not only is biting into the peel an easier way to access the center without needing any utensils, but mixing in a few bites of that peel isn't bad. And if you needed to, if you were starved for nutrients, you could eat that whole peel. Genuinely pretty good. Adds a little bit of tart flavor, a secondary texture. One of my favorite peels. But, you know, we can take this even further. So what about watermelons? Well, you've probably eaten some of the delicious red part of a watermelon and hidden the white, semi-rind part. Maybe taken a few nibbles of that white part and realized it's not too bad. But I bet you've never eaten the green exterior rind of a watermelon. Did you know it's entirely edible? In fact, let me show you my main camera guy, Carlo, here, demonstrating just how edible watermelon peel is. And that's not all! Not all. In fact, the skin of most melons is edible. I almost took a bite out of this cantaloupe here today because their skin is edible, but I read that cantaloupes have a higher risk of certain bacteria growing on the skin in between these little cracks. So although the skin's edible, this might not be the ideal one to eat. But apart from any potential bacteria risks, every part of most melons, including the skin, is fully edible. And melons isn't the furthest we can take this idea of surprisingly edible peels. when I looked up which peels and rinds of fruits are edible, the one that surprised me the most was probably pineapple. Not only do pineapples have pretty thick skins, but they're known for being somewhat spiky. Now, this one's somewhat ripe enough, I think, that it doesn't feel too spiky. And while I'm not sure if this is going to be the most delicious out of our options, when I read that, I had to try it. Not bad. Maybe not the most delicious of all the peels I've tried here, but it is good to know that if you were stranded somewhere with a pineapple plant, you could eat more of it than you expect. And here's one more fruit with an edible peel I managed to get fresh off a tree. These fruits, known as loquats, also happen to have edible peels. And it looks like the squirrels like these loquats as well. Anyways, that's most of the fruits I could get my hands on this week. Or I guess I got one more. Avocado. And I guess that's all for today's snack break. I think we should put these melons out, Carlo. Thanks for joining me today, and hope you have a great one.